Hello and a very warm welcome to the FPO final round coverage of the 2026 Berlin Open presented by Innova. My name is Andrew. I'm joined here by my fellow commentator, Chris.
Hey, guys.
Yes, so you can find us on social media at Just Right, spelled wrong for me, and at CK12Chris for Chris. Check out our previous coverage. We've been doing this a little bit now. You can watch last year's Berlin Open and some other local coverage as well. But let's get into it.
Here's our lead card. Antonia Faber is leading by 19 over par, followed by Jahn from Helmstedt, and followed by Sophie Rossteuscher, plus 29. And last but not least, Schwarz, local here from Berlin.
Yeah, a real pleasure of getting to follow this card around. So excited to
yeah,
watch
let's
it.
start off on hole 1, 118 meters, par 3, with Amanda on the left. There's usually our circus tent, but today we don't have it.
Yeah, so we'll provide you a little background here. So we are at Volkspark Rehberge, as you see there.
Hello and welcome to the FPO finals of the Berlin Open Championships 2026. First off the tee, representing Throw Natur Disc Golf from Germany, Antonia Faber.
Hello everyone, I'm joined here by Antonia Faber, who has the lead going into the final round, and is also, I believe, a 7-time champion of the Berlin Open. What has it been like so far for you this year?
I'm not playing that well. I think I haven't slept good, but that's okay. And I'm just trying to get close to the basket and make some fun.
In the past, I think some of your wins have been by quite some margin. This time going into the finals, you hold a 1-stroke lead over Vipke. Does that change your strategy at all?
No. I just keep trying to get the birdies that I can. It's actually not that many this year. And avoid the mistakes. Just avoid all the trees because there's no OB. So
something I've been asking all of our leaders, for anyone joining the sport, getting into it, any tips to go from a casual player to getting more to the advanced level?
try to understand the discs and how they fly. Start with neutral discs, maybe mid-ranges that show you what you do. And then once you really understand what you're doing and the disc is doing, then you can go past the discs. And
well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the final round. Find some of those birdies and avoid some of those trees. All right, thank you so much.
So that is our reigning champion, Antonia Faber.
Yeah.
Really excited to see her first throw. She's representing Heisenauts. Let's see what she can do.
Yeah, we were just getting into explaining this hole a little bit. So it's quite far, and you see there some bands on the trees, the white and red. I'll let my old self speak. Here goes Vipke. Yeah, for anybody who wasn't there, we have these oak processionary caterpillars or oak processionary moths, which, anyway, they sting a lot. You can look it up. I don't have to give a nature documentary here, but we had to change some things. We moved the tournament earlier. We had to move our tent. So some things changed a bit for this year.
Rossteuscher.
Yeah, next up, Sophie here. She's coming all the way from Munich. Her first tee shot. It's a little bit low.
Yeah.
Andrew, as you said, we have Amanda on the left-hand side, usually our circus tent, but it's not there this year.
Representing Germany, Schwarz.
So on the left side, you will see a tree with a big M. On the right side, there's no B. Usually there's some cricket players.
Yeah.
Not this year. So Alyssa up next. Ooh, that looks a little inside. And here's the tree coming into play. Unfortunately, she misses the Mando.
You can see still a lot of distance to go, and a tough shot there.
And there's a low ceiling, so quite a tough shot. Can't throw too high.
Yeah, so it does decide to go low through the trees, which of course is a gamble. A lot of players play a high hyzer outright to try to go around the trees, but then you maybe don't get the full distance.
Ooh, unless unfortunately it hits another tree. The drop zone is fairly kind. It's about 45 meters away. It's a beautiful approach here.
Yep, that's how you approach.
And Andrew, we are at a public park. So every once in a while, you'll see a few random people just cross by.
Yeah.
And here you have a playground towards the right.
Yeah. And so you're getting to the
look at
point.
that.
So the other
Gap shot.
Yeah, that was a great hit. The other tape, not for the moths and caterpillars, again, that's not OB. That's something that is really sort of known about this tournament, is that there's pretty much no OB. There's maybe a small little area for a service station, but otherwise no OB, some mandos. So when you see that tape, it's really just to guard the pedestrians.
Beautiful putt, saving the bogey here.
And this is a hard hole. So it's nice, a bogey, you're not losing too many strokes on people here.
Yeah, it's not the easiest hole to start off. 118 meters with a low ceiling.
Yeah.
Geez, that's hard.
Yeah, here's the self-deprecation I do on every commentary, but just for perspective. Oh, unfortunate spit out for Alessa there. But 118 meters is far. So I've been playing for quite some years. I'm an average player. On a good day, I can throw 100 meters. So 118, I am not getting birdie on this one. And on our lead card, they're probably also throwing 100, 110, depending on the arm. So just for some perspective there.
And on to hole number 2, 98 meters. It's a par 3. It's actually our first hole in the regular rounds.
Yeah.
A really friendly hole. You can choose a sidearm, a backhand. There's just one tree in your way.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to see what they are going to do.
I always like to do this with Chris on commentary, but it is one of the top 3 easiest holes. Where do you think it places? 1, 2, or 3?
Probably 1.
Yeah, spot on. Plays as 2.6 on average, so almost same number of birdies and pars.
So I think for a right-hand player, the sidearm is the safer choice. Good for Antonia. She's a lefty.
As a lefty, yeah. So you do have more space on the left side. It may not be obvious on the coverage.
That's a little low.
Yeah.
She probably has 50 meters left, 45.
Yeah. So one option is to go big and right around the tree, but that adds linear distance to your throw. So you're no longer throwing 98, you're throwing 110. And so a lot of players, unless you have a really big arm, don't want to go around the tree. This is the type of shot I like. You aim at the tree and hope it fades just before. I think that's beautiful. Just a little long.
Or just hit some of the branches and just drops
drop
off
down.
there. Yeah.
Do you speak from experience on that?
I do a little bit. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see what Alessa can do here.
She's trying to go around
the tree. Based on the body language, I'm not sure if she meant to, but that is a play to go around the tree.
Now, depending on how far she got, that might be... Oh, she got around the tree, so
Yeah, okay.
she's got a view. She's got a birdie look here.
That's great. So yeah, that probably 100-meter throw from Alessa. Long birdie look.
It's up high.
Yeah, good approach, but that's a tough birdie. Who is that cameraman there in the background?
That might be Björn.
That one there might be my fellow
that might be me.
commentator,
Yeah.
Christian. Yeah, big shout out to Chris and Bjorn.
Beautiful birdie here.
Great
Edge
birdie.
of circle 1. Well done, Antonia.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's strangely a lot of pressure because it is the easiest hole. You feel like I need to birdie this. So well done keeping it cool under pressure there. Oh, just a little low.
It's interesting. That was a little Annie putt.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's Sophie's style of putting.
It might be it. And I didn't quite see the make of the putter, but sometimes you get more overstable putters. I find the P2 to be more overstable for me. So yeah, you might have to putt with a bit of Anheuser. And you see tapping out for par.
We are outside.
We are together.
Oh my!
We are healthy.
We are inclusive.
Smile.
Smile. You are playing
Disc golf.
pdga Europe.
Smile.
Well, I'll take this one. So it's played as hole 7 during the normal tournament. This one places our third hole, 69 meters. It's very short, but it has this really strong, say, dog leg right in American English, I don't know. But this really sharp turn around the tree downhill. You also have this sneaky gap, just left of the Mando that some people try to go for. But especially as a left-hander, try to go out and around the tree. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite go out far enough and it drops, but still somewhat close to the basket.
So Andrew is just 69 meters, but this hole is so hard because if you take this line here, you have to throw it so high to get around the tree.
Yeah.
And the ground next to the basket is rather loose, so you don't get any skips.
Yeah, you
There's
don't
just
really get
a
a skip
tiny
play.
spot where sometimes it does skip.
Here we have the straight line. Almost worked, almost paid off.
But that's a great shot still.
Yeah.
The gap there, sometimes a little hard to see it on camera, but it's just a meter apart.
Yeah, it's... I can speak from experience. Very easy to hit the trees in front of you. It can pay off, but it's the riskier of the shots. So we see Antonio hit some branches, drop down, so still has some distance. Oh, almost threw it in.
Wow, it was sneaky.
Wanted the birdie throw in. Okay, a chance here
Yeah,
for
it's about
Vibke.
25 meters, I would say, left.
Yeah, that's a tough, sort of between a jump putt and a throw. But
Same for Sophie.
Yeah, same question, but it looks like she's lining up the jump putt.
Good height.
That was a good bid. Good effort. Probably tap in for par from there. So another long look. So again, you see just 69 meters. I don't have it for sure, but I believe it's the shortest hole on the course. But it doesn't play as the easiest just because of that, the way it's set up. This downhill around the big tree, no skip play available. That disc wanted to hop out. Thankfully, gravity brought it back in for Vibke there. Sophie for her par.
Yeah, easy cleanup.
Easy cleanup.
And Andrew, you can see it's a rather calm day.
Yeah.
I think last year we had a lot more wind going on. Alessa also cleans up the par. We had to move this tournament a bit up into May.
Yeah.
Usually it's a June tournament.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned in the beginning, we had a little bit of trouble with the oak procession.
Processionary mounts. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, here we are, a hole 4 or hole 10 during the regular play. This is one of my absolute favorites. 100 meters, dead straight, beautiful, lined with trees. Karlidveg, I believe is it's called
That is
locally.
correct, yes.
Yep. Here we get a view of it.
Now, Andrew, all you have to do is just a straight shot.
Yeah,
Right?
which is the hardest shot in disc golf, right? Throw straight for 100 meters. It is surprisingly hard to do. And yet, Vibke, that looks clean.
That was well executed, yes. Once you leave the fairway there, it's
You're
so
in
hard
trouble.
to recover from that. There's a slope left and right. Usually you get a huge kick, and then it's just jungle disc golf
Yep.
for you.
See the red shirt there of one of our volunteers. I think maybe Nico. Thank you to all of our volunteers for this tournament, especially on holes like this where you got to play spotter. I was spotter on this hole a couple years ago, and yes, as you said, if you hit one of those trees, you can kick really far off the fairway. So this becomes really a gamble hole, a risk reward. When my year spotting, I saw a lot of people play it safe with just putter, par. Others try to go for it because also it's just so fun. It's
Yeah,
so
you see
beautiful.
2 tough shots. Alessa didn't have. I mean, she had a fortunate gap. Antonia in a patent pending stance.
Oh, and it sneaks by the tree.
and that
parked.
was really well
That's a
executed.
beautiful approach.
Sophie also kicks off the fairway, and there's
So
a bush in
one
front
of
of
those
her.
scramble shots.
Let's see if she can somehow magically save the par here. Oh, wow.
That
Wow.
that's amazing.
Well, I think Sophie is a quite famous ultimate player.
Oh, really?
So that was probably one of her skills you could see there, her
Yeah,
ultimate skills.
you could definitely see that sort of lofty approach. Yeah, anyone coming from Ultimate, maybe throwing with an Ultra Star disc, that typically flies more understable than a lot of our players will use. But I'm curious for that type of approach if she chose a more understable disc that feels a bit more like a Ultimate disc.
Great putt here.
Great par. Yeah, this one is hard to birdie. It's very easy to get double bogey, triple bogey. So a par feels good. It feels like a win.
Alessa with 3 meters left. Yes, she gets it.
And again, a bogey, it stings, but I have seen doubles, triples, quadruples on this hole. So, you take your medicine, you walk away with a bogey. It's not the worst.
Easy tap in here for Sophie.
Yeah, well done. Great
Yeah,
second shot.
What
there.
a hero shot.
Yeah.
All right, off to hole 11, 95 meters, a par 3. Again, a straight shot would be great. I think you're in favor if you use your sidearm for this hole because at the end there is a slope and down.
Yeah, so the angle of the disc upon landing, and also, for right-handed players, I think there is more of a gap on the left, which is a little hard to see on coverage, but right at that line of trees, right
That
in front
was
of the basket,
Hold, but
made it through a lot of it.
yes.
Yeah.
So you see the path down there, and the path is not OB,
Yeah,
so you can throw from there.
that looked good.
Ooh,
And it's fighting
gets
through everything.
Wow.
What a drive. What a drive. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
happy with it. She's happy with it.
Wow. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that right side, you have to either be incredibly skilled and know which cap you're hoping for, or you just throw it on the right side and hope you miss some trees. Which is my option, of course. Let's see what Alessa can do here.
Very low out of the hand.
Yeah, and maybe a little too much Anheuser.
That's a tough approach from there. That stance is not the best. A lot of Annie gets through
Gets through.
all of it.
Yeah, maybe a little short, little cut roll, but honestly, that was pretty good from where she was.
Oh, here we see again one of those sidearm approaches.
Looks like a discmania
Oh,
something. Oh,
Krylov.
almost a bank shot. And
Yes.
that would have been fun. Yeah, now you can see that slope a little better. Where if the disc comes in at the wrong angle, it's very easy to glide down the hill or hit and roll down the hill.
So fortunately, Alessa has to throw up, putt up
Yeah.
against the slope.
Yeah.
That's always a little bit easier because a rollaway is more unlikely, I would say.
Yeah. Great
birdie.
birdie. Yeah,
Wow.
Jinx.
Yes.
That is not an easy birdie to get. It's definitely not easy to park it for birdie.
So Wiebke stays clean. Good round, 1 under par so far. Antonia as well.
Yeah, so the race remains tight. So we'll clean up bogey here. I like her little disc flip. Nice little skill shot. Again, shout out to Bjorn and to Chris for filming, and again, all our volunteers. So thanks to everybody who made this
It
happen.
was so much fun.
Yeah.
On to the next hole, 110 meters par 3. So now we basically just play it back. There's a little path you just have to stay along. the path. It always sounds easy if you say you just have to.
Yeah.
But you have a low ceiling. Again, there's a slope on the left-hand side. There are bushes. Here you can see it. I think a conservative shot is, again, maybe a mid shot. Definitely not that route.
Yeah, unfortunate for Vipka, into the early trees.
Yeah, they came out of her hand too early.
Oh, also early.
Tony
or
also pulls
late
a little bit.
for her. Yeah, so they'll both be up on the hill. For anyone curious, this is the same hill that's to the right of Karl Leidweg. So we often will have people on Karl Leidweg looking for their discs on that hill, and people on this hole looking for the discs as well. That looked a bit cleaner from Alessa. Can it make it through? Yeah.
Catches a few branches.
Yeah, bit off quite a bit of distance, but didn't quite finish the way she hoped.
Yeah, this is, unfortunately for Sophie, that's instant bogey territory.
Yeah. Unless she has another hero shot, but it's a tough ask from here. Yeah, it just pitches out.
And there's not so much you can do. You see the trees, the branches, they're really low, so you cannot shoot it into the sky and hope for the best.
Right. Yeah, and if you're not throwing along the path, there is some room on the right side, but there are a lot of little trees and some big ones as well, and the tall, I don't know what you would call that, tall leaves and things. So tough
that was
on
a
that
great
side.
approach
But
here.
yeah, that great. I'm talking about foliage, and that was a great shot there. Oh, another beautiful, like, Anheuser lofty approach shot from Sophie.
With a chance to save a bogey here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Antonia is surrounded by these tiny, tiny trees,
Yeah.
but gets out of there and has about 50 meters left.
For anyone in the U.S. watching or elsewhere like me, and you're like, why don't they just cut all those? Well, I have learned, being in Germany, there are a lot of rules about what you can and cannot cut and when you can and cannot cut. So there's, with approval, there can be some winter maintenance, but nothing in spring and summer. So we are left with this very green course, which is beautiful, but it can be a bit tough. Whoa! Sorry for talking over that, Antonio. That was so impressive.
Holy smokes.
That feels like a birdie.
Oh, for sure. What a great par save. Uses the basket, like everything of the basket.
Yeah.
Wow. And you got to be careful. There's a slope. So if you miss the basket, every once in a while you get a roll away.
Roll away. Yeah, that settled nicely for Alessa. That should be a tap in from there. Let's see what Sophie can do. Yeah, I mean, great bogey save from where she was.
Wow. Yes.
And let's see now what Vipka can do.
Oh, Vipka got this.
Yes, apologies to all our international players for my pronunciation. If I say more Vipka or Vipka.
It's well done.
Yeah, but great part as well. Keeping the race super tight. Both playing very clean so far. Yeah, so we'll have Alessa tap out for bogey. Yeah, I think frustrated. She is a Berlin Open champion, but maybe not quite having the round she was hoping for.
Here's our maybe most iconic hole, I believe.
Yeah, it's between Karl Leidweg and the Rodelbahn, this one.
Yeah, 256 meters, par 4. Shooting all the way down the famous Rodelbahn, which translates to a sleighing.
Yeah, like a sled and sleigh hill.
Yeah. It is a very difficult one because normally there's a lot of wind going on. The fairway is about, I would say, 30 meters wide, but it's so easy to miss it. And once you're in those trees or bushes, again, that's bogey territory for you.
Yeah, or you try to overcorrect from the previous round, not speaking from experience or anything.
That's leaking left, and wow,
It's in the trees.
that's yeah.
Let's see if Sophie can hit the fairway. Oh, that looks
Oh,
good.
that turns a bit
Hold the
and it's coming
line.
back.
Land in the fairway. Oh, that's beautiful.
Perfect spot. So down there you see a path crossing by.
Yes.
This is absolutely brilliant if you make it all the way to the path.
Yeah.
Alessa also going a little
Also
left, but she's
early.
not too deep in there. Should
Andrew
be-
here up at the top of the world here, hole 13 at the Rodelbahn. What we just got here from 11 and 12 with quite some swing in the FPO. So Wiebke first takes the birdie over Antonia to tighten it up, and then an unfortunate swing on the next one. So Antonia goes into this hole with a 2-stroke lead, but this is really a score separator hole. You can very easily end up in the left trees and the right trees, and you can really struggle to make it down the fairway. So we just watched the tee shots. They looked great. Let's see how they can finish the hole and how it stays tight.
Wow, Andrew, that's a new section here. Andrew sideline.
Yes. Thanks, past me. Back to current me.
And Andrew, we had a little bit of drama here. You see lost disc.
Yes.
So
Yes.
unfortunately, we were not able to find Antonia's disc there in the bush on the left side. So
Yeah.
she had to go again. That's quite disastrous, I would say, since the race is so tight.
Yeah, and it's tough. Even commenting on it here, we knew it was coming. Tough to see. I will say, it was found, 20 minutes later, and it was exactly where the spotter was looking, and it just sucks all around. We're so thankful to our spotters. Spotters saw it land, said where it landed. The whole team looked. They did the 3 minutes, and then it was there. But it just hidden under some leaves, under a tree, and it's just really unfortunate to have it go that way. I would say the mood shifted, of course, but also the players were supportive and supportive of the spotter, and you just hate to see that, but we can't have spotters on every inch of the course. So it happened. Do a replay from lost disc, you get the added stroke.
Still, it's a long hole, so let's see what's happening here.
Yeah.
Alessa with her third throw. I think that's about probably 130, 125 left. So I think a stock hyzer would be great to have a safe approach and then maybe another approach.
Yeah, ends up on the left side in some nettles. The Bryn Nestles are also quite a pain on this course.
But here, Wiebke also didn't have the best approach. She's in there. Fortunately, gets a stand and finds a gap and gets out of there.
Yeah. Sophie,
I would call that our signature shot.
Yeah,
already.
it's becoming that. The
Again, super touchy side on.
floaty, and it's so good. I mean, I still maybe edge of circle, but what a great approach.
Yeah, Antonia with her 6th shot already.
Yeah.
And she's got 8 meters left.
Yeah. And this one did actually play as the hardest hole across FPO and MPO. In this round of 9, it played 4.6. So half a stroke over
Good
par.
run here. Good bid by Wiebke. Oh, yeah, she really wanted that.
Yeah. I don't think, being on the side, she was never, celebrating Antonio's bad luck. But I think, wanted to capitalize and keep the momentum going here.
Come on, Antonia, you got this.
Yeah, it could be just the whole experience got to her on that putt. So that's going to end up, I believe, an 8 on this hole. So with a bogey taking 3 strokes on the lead there from Alessa, and with it playing, depending on the day, almost a whole stroke over par. You never want to see a quad on your scorecard. But there's a lot of golf left.
Yes. Unfortunately, quadruple bogey for Antonia, so Wiebke gains 2 strokes here.
So we do go on to hole number 8, which again plays hole 16 in the regular one. You see that one little spot of OB. There's sort of a maintenance shed there. One of the only OBs on the course. So this is still wide open, but it's a long hole. You have the one early tree you want to miss, but I think it also makes people have to choose. Am I going to play a big Anheuser shot? Am I going to play a big forehand just to make it around that tree?
Yeah, I think the preferred shot is an Anheuser off the tee, or maybe Heiser flip up.
Yeah. Looks like she was hoping for that, but didn't quite get the flip, so it ends up on the left side.
I think the better position is, of course, to be in the middle of the path.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a prime position. But if you end up a little bit further towards the left here, that's still a good position.
Especially for our right-hand players.
Exactly.
Antonia as our lefty,
Yeah,
big, powerful drive.
Got to be careful. There's a tree, not to be too close to the tree.
Mhm.
Oh, that was an interesting line. Choosing a low ceiling shot underneath these branches and just going straight. Lessa overturns it a bit and ends up
on the other
behind
side.
a tree. That will be a tricky approach.
Ooh, a little lower and a little more tucked in than she probably wanted, especially
Still
after a
okay
nice
from
drive.
there. Still
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
This needs to come back. Yes.
Yeah.
Well executed.
Another great shot from Sophie. Probably in a good spot to get par from there.
Unfortunate tree kick here.
Bad luck continues for Les on this hole.
So it's about 80 meters left, I would say.
Let's see how close. Yeah, it's still a long putt, but good distance. Okay, Antonia really wants to park this.
Oh, that's looking good.
Very nice. Very nice. I did the thing that annoys me from other commentators, actually. Like, yeah, she wants to park it. Yeah, so does everybody. But I think, especially now with the pressure on, with it being a very tight race, really needs to make the putting easier on herself. Yeah, great approach from Sophie. We don't. Oh, go ahead.
And we're here in the background. Well, not anymore, but from a different angle. Here you can see our new tournament central, our tournament headquarters.
Yes. And strangely, a wall of volunteers that look like bodyguards. But again, thanks to our volunteers for all their help.
So unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think the frustration must be.
It's beginning to earn.
Yeah.
Band hit from Alessa. Unfortunately, that's going to add strokes to her round here. Great par. Yeah, honestly, clean shot after clean shot. That was really impressive.
Absolutely.
So bogey here from Wiebke. And assuming Antonia taps this out, which she does, also bogey.
So it's a one-stroke separation.
One-stroke separation.
I believe.
As we head into our final hole for the FPO, our hole 9 played as hole 17 during the regular round, par 4 with a Mando. And you'll see here in just a second, you have some options, but you have a kind of a tight gap / low ceiling trying to get around the Mando. So a lot of people we'll try to, for our right-handers, let's see if Sophie tries it. You sort of aim at the tree and miss, which looks to work, and you end up on this left side. Opens you up a bit for your second shot.
That's a little bit short and behind the branch. It might be tricky
Yeah.
to get out from there, but she's got that beautiful sidearm, so
Yeah,
probably
so
no
let's see.
problem for Sophie. I think that's a good position.
I think so.
The Mando is about 100 meters away.
Yeah.
Antonia using a sidearm, I think we don't see it too often from her.
Yeah. Which, for a little flavor, ends up in a spot where a lot of pedestrians tend to camp, and we frequently have to have spotters go, no, you can't be here, you're going to get hit by a disc.
Here we are on the final hole of FPO. With the unfortunate lost disc, our leaders have switched. Wiebke goes into the final hole with a one-stroke lead. They've just teed off on what plays as our last hole, typically hole 17. So let's see if Antonio can come back and force a playoff, or if Wiebke takes down the win.
Obviously I remember recording that and just sort of the heaviness of the lost disc. You know, in the coverage, it was just very quick, lost disc, re-tee, you go, but it was really a heavy moment that plays into this final hole.
Yeah, difficult stance here for Antonia.
But she makes the Mando.
Well executed.
Yeah, so I think, as you were saying, a little pinched off here, but with a great sidearm.
Now, once you make the Mando, you don't want to end up too far on the left because we have a lot of trees come into play.
Yeah.
The right side is super open. You got to be careful around the basket. The ground is kind of hard.
One of the few places where it does actually skip.
Yeah, you'll see a few skips. I mean, you can use it to your advantage. Maybe this will skip a bit. Not too far, but very close to the basket here. Great shot.
So she's, I think, inside circle one. If they both par, she wins.
Oh, this needs to come down. It
Oh,
does.
it does. Great shot. Oh, man. She deserves that. She's a great player. I think a tough tournament. I think she had taken some time off from disc golf in this past year and did CrossFit and some traveling. So I know it must be a bit frustrating.
All right, Antonia needs probably a throw in here. That's... Yeah.
Yeah, and she'll putt first. So she'll need that to put pressure on Wiebke. And Sophie here, I think we've seen such a great style of play today. I think one to watch out for in the coming years. Let's see what she can do here.
You see that any putt again.
Yeah. And that's a bit of a tough distance.
All right, Antonia, come on, make this. Oh, she's got it.
She does.
She's got it.
So this puts the pressure on. Wiebke has to make this for the win.
Wiebke is one of the most experienced players here. I think that's a fairly easy shot for her. Maybe not in this moment.
And she gets it. She gets it. And
wow.
Lost disc drama aside, she earned it. She played so clean, so well. We'll watch our other players finish out here. Great to have them on lead card.
Great par here at the end for Alessa.
Yeah. Good bounce back. And, you know, even with the bogey, we saw such great shots from Sophie.
Your 2026 champion, Wiebke Jahn!
There we go.
Congratulations on your win. How are you feeling at the moment?
Oh, I feel a little bit confused because I hit so fast and it's really nice.
Yeah, I am thankful to have a gallery here and, you know, we'll have this round recorded. What's it like to have the support here today?
Oh, it's beautiful to see all the people that are interesting in the women's flight and it's a good day.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you'd like to say to anyone? Sponsors, family, friends, anything?
Yeah, thank you everyone. So it's a really nice tournament and it's good to be here. There's a really good staff. Thank you. They're really kind and help a lot. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. And let's give it one more round of applause for our champion.
Congratulations to Wiebke.
Yes. Real pleasure to watch. Delightful person to interview and to hang out with. You see our final scores here. But yeah, we hope to see them all next year. Hope to see an even larger FPO field next year. So if you're watching this and you're interested in playing, please do. We'd love to grow the sport. But yeah, it was fun hanging out. I had the real pleasure of doing it last year and this year. Great flight, great card. Yeah, it was fun.
Fun shots. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope we'll see you soon again.
Yes, thanks again.